Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Monday Mechanic. This is your host, TRC Borderline, and we are here to work on another car. We're up in our lounge, as always, and we're going to head down over to our phone and we're going to pick up a job. Now, there's only 3 jobs in here, so there's not very many. That's just body parts. Ooh. You know what? Let's take the Plymouth Roadrunner 426 Hemi. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let these jobs cycle because those weren't really looking like the best of jobs anyways. A lot of those cars were looking like they were already in really bad condition. Not something I'd want to work on particularly. Like, see what I mean? Like, they're all already in like the 30s and the 40s for integrity, and like it's no. Man, you got to give me some better jobs than this. Can't be doing this. Oh no. Seriously, you can't give me some better jobs? Oh, I guess this is a good time to kind of give a bit of a tour of the shop. So, like we know up here is our lounge area, and then in here is like the office area. If we come over here, here we have our dyno. This is for doing the dyno and like measuring horsepower and torque and everything and how the car runs. In here is the paint shop. Pretty simple. We have 3 lifts for working on cars. This is a warehouse area, so I can store parts. My engine stand, which we've already used. This is the repair bench for repairing parts. In here is a test path. This is good for um, testing out the vehicle's suspension and brakes. And then you have a couple, like just a couple garage bays here with our tire changer and balancer. And that's pretty much my garage. So let's see what we got in terms of jobs now. Is there anything better in here? So no, we don't want that. We don't want that. I mean, maybe. No. All right, let's give it another minute. See what else pops in. No. So far it's looking like we're gonna be taking this guy, and this guy's gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass. It doesn't start. All the filters need to be replaced. There's a lack of engine power. Ooh, what's this? We got suspension, transmission, and body. Yes. Okay, this is the one we're gonna take. So it's general running gear control and repair, knocking sounds coming from the suspension, sloppy car steering, the gearbox shifts rough, and we gotta fix the body parts. So this is good because this one we can actually use the repair bench to do the body parts and everything. And we can get it on the test path to actually test out the suspension and the brakes. Well, more so the suspension. So first things first, I'm gonna clean clean out my inventory because I didn't even realize that I had a whole bunch of stuff in here. Haven't cleaned out my inventory from the past couple episodes. Okay, I got like no use for any of those, so I'm just gonna sell them to make some money. Okay, and here we go. So, general running gear control and repair, the knocking sounds, the sloppy steering, the gearbox shifts rough. Okay, so I think the first thing we're gonna do is replace all the body parts. So we got the front right door, front right fender, front right headlight, rear right door window. So right headlight, front right fender, front right door, rear door window. Now we're going to repair the pieces that need repairing. So that would be the door, that would be the fender, and the mirror I do not believe was a part of the deal there. And now we're going to buy the other parts that we need. So we're doing the Olsen Grand Club. I believe it was this way. Apparently not. Like that. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we needed the rear right window. We are gonna need the front windshield. And we need the right headlight. Okay. So we're gonna pop that off. We're gonna go into assemble mode. We're going to put in the window, fender, door, the rear window, put the front window back in, side mirror back on, and the headlight. And now we're going to see what we're missing. Left trunk tail light and the left side mirror. So go back into normal mode, left side mirror, left trunk tail light. We should be able to just repair the mirror. Yep. And now we just need a tail light. And there it is. Left trunk tail light. Back. Oops. Yeah, this car looks like shit still. Why don't you want me to fix, like, the rest of this heap of garbage? But either way, whatever, that's his choice. So the body parts are done. Now we need to assess the suspension. So the best way to do that is we're going to get her on the test path. So move car over to test path. And we're going to run the test path. We're going to accelerate up. And now we're going to hold the brakes. Like, we know the brakes don't have any work to be, like, the brakes are fine. It's the suspension we're going for. But the process of the test path is it does the brakes and then the suspension. I'm going to check the front suspension. Okay. Seems to be worse on the right side. Oh, rear left, yes. Okay, so there's most of our parts. Good shit, good shit. Move the car. Lift A. Let's get to work. Just gonna do a quick inventory clean out. Okay. We're gonna bump her up. So now we know a lot of the issue was from back here. So this is where we're going. Oh, Lord. Okay, so the whole axle has to come off. So that, yeah, that makes things interesting. Okay, we gotta take everything off. This just got a lot more fun, because now we have to disassemble everything for the back end. And then there's some minor stuff up there in the front. That we knew that from the car's sloppy handling. Like, it's mostly this side that needs to be repaired, as opposed to this side, but this side still has to come off due to needing to replace the whole rear axle. So we're just gonna sit here and disassemble everything. There we go. I need to do something quick. Okay, there we go. Alright, now on to this side here. So let's see what we're dealing with. Okay, so we got... Okay, I see. So wheel hub bearing. So we're going to replace the outer tie rod, the sway bar front end link, shock absorber, and we do need to replace the wheel hub bearing on this side as well. There we go. Now this stuff up in the front, this is nothing here can actually be repaired really, so we're just gonna have to replace it. So one inner tie rod, two outer tie rods, two sway bar front end links. Okay, so for the front end, we're going to need one double wishbone shock absorber with a front spring and cap. We also said one inner tie rod, two outer tie rods, two front end links B, and one wheel hub bearing. This should be all that's needed for the front end. So we're going to put our front spring together. Okay. There we go. Now let's get this stuff put back in. So on this side, it was the front end link, inner tie rod, and the outer tie rod. Okay, and now this guy can go right back together. Oh, wait a second. Let me make sure I'm putting the right ones on. Okay, they're all the same size. Sometimes cars will have wider, like a wider tire in the back than as opposed to in the front. Okay, so I'm gonna put our new spring in. There we go. Get our new wheel hub bearing in. Put our front drive axle back in. And now we can put that front tire back on, and the front end should be all good. If we take a look now, most of the knocking sounds have been fixed up, and most of the sloppy car steering has been fixed up. Where's the other one? We'll find it. Okay, so now we're going to lift the car right up so we can get to underneath to the axle. Now, first things first, take off the drive shaft. I'm also going to pop off the 4x4 transfer case, as well as the gearbox, because we know that these need to be replaced as well, or at least fixed. We're gonna see if we can't repair them. I have a feeling the gearbox is gonna need to be replaced entirely. Now we need to take off all of our leaf spring U-bolts. Luckily, most of the stuff for the rear end is should hopefully be repairable, as long as it's not too far gone, which it looks like it actually might be. Okay, so we've got everything off. Now you know what? I want to check one more thing in the front here. I just want to check my rubber bushings, because I didn't even really think to take a look at them, and that could be an issue. But so far, they seem to be okay. Yeah, they're good. Okay, so now we're gonna head over to our repair bench and start repairing the stuff we need. Oh, look at that. Everything is too far gone to be repaired. Okay. So now that we know that, we can go into our inventory and we can delete it all, or sell it all off. So we know we need a solid rear drive axle, knuckle housing C, rubber bushing, shock absorber B, rear spring, whole set, the transfer case, and a V8 gearbox with 4 leaf spring U-bolts with their plates, coil spring rear drive axle, and a solid axle control arm. Okay, so let's go into our shop, and we're going to start at the very top. So let's see what we need. We're mostly in the rear here, so we need 4 of these boys, 2 of these boys, housing C, shock absorber B, shock absorber cap, spring. Gonna need a rear drive axle, a rubber bushing, that guy. I think that's it. I think that's all we need. Oh, I mean, except for the gearbox and the transfer case. We're going to pick those up now. So the V8 and the 4x4 transfer case. Now let's put this bad boy back together. Oh, right. Right. The rear axle would be a lovely thing to have. Okay. Now we're good to put this boy back together. Yeah, I kind of messed that one up. Oh, uh-oh, hold on. I want to put the brand new one where the brand new one needs to be. There we go. That's better. Here we go. Okay. You want to get all this stuff put back from underneath the car. Now we're going to go put our gearbox back in, because we can't do that once we lower the car down. Making sure we put the starter back in. I like to forget to do that at times. Putting in our new transfer case. And now it's just a matter of putting in our drive shafts. Okay, there we have it. Now we can bring the car back down, and we're going to start over on this side because we know this is the side that needs the brand new parts. Put in the rubber bushing. Get our spring cap, rear spring, and shock absorber cap with our shock absorber here. Okay, now the rear axle, or the knuckle housing I should say. Wheel hub, solid rear drive axle. And now to put the brakes back together. Okay, one side down, one side to go, and this should be the car completely back together and done. If it's not, then there's something wrong. And I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. Okay, here we are. Done. Now let's just make sure we're done. Okay. All the general running gear control and repair is done. So is the knocking sounds have all been figured out. Sloppy car steering is done. Gearbox. And the body parts. So this job is 100% complete. We had a nice job doing the suspension, as well as minor transmission work and body work. So we can finish this order, get paid out. And clean out our inventory, which is already done. And this has been another episode of the Monday Mechanic with your host, TRC Borderline. I hope you've enjoyed. As always, don't forget to smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see. What kind of jobs would you like me to focus on? What kind of cars would you like to see me work on, provided they're in the game? And don't forget to share and subscribe for more content. Until next week, stay safe. This is TRC Borderline, signing out.